humans, Master DinnerFlax here, and today we got a absolute massive smorgasbord of monster cards. Let's get into this. We got three soul leading erectt, and what this allows you to do is grab a dinosaur from your deck or a foolish burial it, but you would never in your goddamn life send it to the graveyard. At least in this deck. Or ever. Um, yeah. You could make Denlog. Then we got two miscellaneous swords, probably one of the more powerful cards, just because it's pretty generic in what it does. It doesn't really need another card to be good. Um, while at the same time it only does one thing, and that's grab a tuner. It's still good on its own, and I like that because there's not a lot of cards in here that are good on their own. Alio is a perfect example of that. You need two just so you don't brick draw all your cards. Which is why I'm playing two of most of these things, honestly, so you don't brick draw everything. One conductor because it's searchable and it's not live all the time, but usually a simple like Fossil Dig, Oviraptor, or Oviraptor Miscellaneous combination of those cards. You just search that and have a very threatening monster on board, which I like. Then we got 2 Bion for the Yang Zings. 2 Bion, 2 Chi-Win, and 1 Swanee. I only went with 1 Swanee, but 2 Bion because I was more focused on making Herald rather than just making another Dinglong that doesn't do anything. So, here comes the worst part of the deck. We got 3 Red Eyes Black Dragon, 2 Red Eyes Baby Dragon, which is a Mystic Tomato equip card that when it dies in an equip card, it searches a level 1 monster. It's actually kind of nice. This is probably the best card that they've got, but it's still pretty meh. But it's a Mystic Tomato, and you play the Red Eyes, I'll show you why. Darkness Metal, probably the most powerful, but you need other dragons to make it good. Blackstone Legend, it's a simple card for simple people like me, and I drop shit. We got Manju of the 10,000 Hands for our final part of this deck. And then 2 Sauravis, the Ancient and Ascended and Erection. He's okay. So on the field, imagine that he's a Thunder King that doesn't stop searching. However, as a Blackhorn, he can negate the inherit summons of a monster and banish them. So instead of being a normal Blackhorn, he's a Blackhorn that can stop any inherit summon. And instead of sending them to the graveyard or destroying them, he banishes them. And instead of tributing himself to do it, he puts them back in the hand. And instead of a normal ritual monster, he's also a hand trap. The only reason this card isn't absolutely broken is because it's not searchable with pre-prep, and the ritual spell they have on there is a generic light ritual spell that requires exactly 7 to use. So it's pretty shit. The card itself is godly, just the issue is they didn't give it everything it needed, so there's no pre-prep in here, unfortunately. However, we got advanced ritual art with the red eyes. I'm gonna show you, Yugs. And then we got 3 Fossil Dig. You can add dinosaurs, except this one. But it was and then we got 2 Red Eyes Insight, which can dump this and grab this. And that's pretty good. You can just send anything a lot of the times. Just any of your Red Eyes, except that one. 2 Twin Twisters because it's back row destruction. 1 Yangzing Path for your second Dinglong. Very powerful. Draw cards and a deck full of Garnets, which I like. 1 Regeki. You get to blow up all monsters on your opponent's side of the field regardless of battle positions. Ooh. And we got Preparation of Rites, and then 1 Soul Charge, which is broken in here because when you're in a deck with full of Garnets, they're Garnets because they make something really cool. And when you have them all on field, they get to make really cool cards. And then we got 2 9 Pillars for the Dinglongs, and 2 Red Eye Spirit for the Insights. So the main deck consists of 4 different decks, that being Dinosaurs, Yang Zings, Red Eyes, Sauravis Ritual. The only name I can think of this deck is a Penis Dragon Control, which I feel is the best name for this deck. For the extra deck, we got 2 Dinglong. This is the other Penis Dragon that makes it all powerful. Having Penis Dragon Blue and Penis Dragon Yellow is probably what dictates most of the game. Herald, like I said earlier, I'm more focusing on the Herald because not only is it the second negation, but it's also a search after negation. And it's very fun. You can also revive it with either Soul Charge or Bixia, which this card is usually made off of Soul Charge, but sometimes it can be brought out other means. And having all that shuffling, having all the revival, destruction, this is such a good card. I wish I could make it a bit easier, but I, but you do what you got to do. I've never made Chinbara, but I don't feel that there's a better Synchro 5 for this. So I'll just keep this in here. I think it's the best. We got one Cyframe Lord Omega. I made a few times, and he's pretty good because he's Cyframe Lord Omega. And then Trishula. If you don't know what this card is, go to sleep. Got number 11 Big Eye. Probably the best rank 7 is probably the only reason I play a rank 7, and the only rank 7 I will play. You can make it with Red Eyes Monsters and a Sauravis and or a Sauravis. And if Sauravis was ritual summoned on the field the first time, and it's like detached as a material from Big Eye, you can still revive it and it'll still have its effect as a super Blackhorn god, and I think that's pretty awesome. Got the Utopia package for running over cards that will just out it anyways. You got one Castell, skip over those two. Tornado Dragon, Decode Talker. I don't think I've ever made this, or I've made it once, but just in case of an emergency, it's always nice to have a link in a deck. And that's how I feel. And we got Queen Dragon Jin. Well, her herself doesn't do much. She's a really good revival card, and like, it's one of the things I usually make off of a soul charge after cycling a lot of Red Eyes cards, or like a lot of these cards. It's pretty nice. And then the last one I want to talk about is Fairy Cheer Girl. While you have Herald up and you normal summon Manju, you get a search of material. Then you overlay them, and then you detach to draw one card, and then the Herald will give you the other material. Neat. That's so cute. So I wish, for the love of God, this guy had a pre-prep use, but you do what you gotta do. Oh well. Yeah. So this is Penis Dragon Control. Thank you all for watching. This is a really, 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 really weird deck. It's surprisingly consistent, despite half the monsters in the deck not being good on their own. But oh well. Yeah. Thank you all for watching, and remember, Master DinnerFlax will take your soul.